Hey, everybody, welcome to the VSN Weekly Rundown here. My name is Brandon. We're going to talk all kinds of different things here on this short episode here. So let's get started. We're going to talk about college football. We'll talk about the college football playoffs in particular. Top 25 ranking at Ohio State, number 1, Indiana 2, Texas A&M 3, Georgia 4. So they're the 4 teams right now that will currently get a bye in the first round of move into the second round of the playoffs, of the college football playoffs. Now, looking at some of these rankings, you still have some teams in here. Alabama moves down to number 10 after their loss to Oklahoma. Oklahoma jumps up to number 8 in this one. And just to give you just some of my thoughts and opinions on it, on the ranking so far. There's obviously some bias when it comes to conferences at this point. It's very obvious in my eyes, and in a lot of people's eyes too. At the same time, you have a team like Alabama who does have 4 ranked wins, including a win over number 4 Georgia. At the moment, you got win over Tennessee, win over Alabama, a win over Missouri, and win over Vanderbilt as well. So all ranked wins. Each one of those teams currently ranked in the top 25 of the college football playoffs. Ignore week 11, should say week 13, by the way. So it's a fault on my end, not updating that part correctly. Anyways, you still get Texas in at 17. Michigan's still creeping up right there, but you got a Big Ten game between Oregon and USC. Now this could completely shake up again things completely. It possibly, I'd imagine, drop Oregon out of the top 12. I don't see how it wouldn't, with their loss being their one loss of the season so far being to number 2 Indiana. But then again, at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if they were to keep them in the top 12 because they have ranked wins over Iowa. I mean, even though Iowa's not in the top 25 anymore, they have ranked wins over Iowa, and forgot who the other team was. It might click again in a little bit. But they did lose at home to Indiana earlier in the season. Now, tell you that Indiana's a good team. Yeah, Oregon's a good team as well. You also see three new teams in the top 25 ranking here for week 13 is Houston, Tulane, Arizona State all jump into the top 25 at this point. Illinois even squeaks in at number 21 at this point, as well as sitting at 7-3 with 2, some big wins over USC so far, but then they've also lost to Indiana, and then they've also lost to oh shoot, who'd they lose to? They lost to another ranked team as well. I'm gonna look it up because I can't keep going without not looking it up at this point. So I know they beat USC. Where's Illinois? Illinois taking on Wisconsin this weekend, by the way. Ohio State, Ohio State. They lost to Ohio State. Ohio State 34-16, and then got mollywomped by Washington to give them their 3rd loss of the season. If that 42-25 loss, about a month ago. So give or take, we'll see what that happens. They got Wisconsin this week, and then they got a interesting team in Northwestern. So let us know what you think about the top 25 college football rankings for week 13 as well. And we're going to jump over and move on to the playoff bracket here, which is right now you see, again, like I mentioned, Georgia, or Ohio State, Texas A&M, Indiana, all sitting in with the byes to move into the quarterfinals, move into the second round of the college football playoffs. Now, this is where it gets interesting. You get Tulane as the highest group of 5 conference champion as of right now. They have to win their conference. Same with Miami. That's the only way they get in is if they win their conference, which Miami, I don't even believe is in their conference championship game right now. I believe it's Georgia Tech and Virginia. So they got some work to do. They basically have to win out, which is where I think when it comes to this, It doesn't matter if you're a conference champion. If you're not one of the top 12 teams in college football, then you shouldn't. Then I think we're at a point where you can't get in if you're not up there, because even dropping Alabama to 10 to where they have to take on Oregon in round one of the college football playoffs and keeping Notre Dame. And here's where I think things get tricky is if you keep Notre Dame in there, you have to in some way put Miami in there because Miami beat Notre Dame early in the season, week 1, week 2 of the season. You have to that's what makes it difficult. Even though Alabama has 4 ranked wins, including over number 4 Georgia. Yeah, I don't. That's where things get tricky and get confusing because they beat Georgia, Miami beat Notre Dame, Indiana's beat Oregon. Things are just a little crazy at this point. And there's no sense into what's going on here at this point. Because you're looking at a 9-1 BYU team who has an SOR of 6 and a strength of schedule of like 24 in the nation, whose one loss so far this season is to number 5 Texas A&M, or number 5 Texas Tech. I'm sorry. Let me know what you think. Put your things in the comment. You know what to do. So that's the college football playoffs for week 13, projected, based on current rankings. Again, let us know. Jumping over the NFL, I did awful on my graphic side of things. I'm not fully updating them all the way, so I apologize for that. And whatnot. Jumping over to the NFL now, put our top 5 here. We'll work on getting a full 100 or 1 to 32 power ranking going on. We got one for the NHL going. We got our Power 16, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. We're going to have our NBA power rankings up soon. We'll shoot the rock over at taking care of the fast break for us, talking about some college basketball as well. So he's going to work on some NBA power rankings for us right here at VSN. But here we got our top 5 teams in the NFL as of right now. And I know a lot of people are going to say, why aren't the Denver Broncos number 1? Well, I mean, they're just not quite there yet. Not quite there. They did have a big win over the Chiefs at home, which they needed to keep pace, and put the Chiefs at 5-5 and really put them on the brink of not making the playoffs. But I think the Los Angeles Rams are the number 1 team in the NFL right now. Call me crazy. I think the Los Angeles Rams are the number 1 team in the NFL. Right behind them, the Indianapolis Colts. You're looking at 2 teams. Indianapolis is 6-0 at home. 2-0 in their division. They should win their division by I wouldn't say a hefty margin, but I mean, because you got Jacksonville still right there at 6-4, so they're 2 games behind Indianapolis right now. Indianapolis's conference, though, you look at the conference, they're 6-1 in the AFC. 6-1 in the AFC. 321 points to 206 allowed so far this season, which puts it at a net difference of 115. But I still don't think if you put the LA Rams up against the Indianapolis Colts, the Colts beat the Rams. I don't think they're there yet. I think the Rams would be too tough still. That'd be a heck of a Super Bowl. Don't get me wrong. Love to see it. We got the Eagles at 3, Broncos 4, Patriots at 5. Now, there's certain teams, there's teams that are slowly sneaking up there as well. Like, for example, the Buffalo Bills are right there. The Seattle Seahawks could easily be right there as well. And I almost debated keeping Denver out and putting Denver at 6 and put Seattle at 4, but I didn't because I think the win against the Chiefs is a solid win. So let me know what you think of our top 5 over here as well. Again, work on getting 1 to 32 out as soon as possible. So keep an eye out for that as well. Coming over the next couple of days, probably next week, to be honest. Now I'm going to jump over to a little bit of news across the other leagues as well. And we're talking about the MLB. So the MLB agreed to a new TV deal. It's a 3-year deal worth $80 million across 3 networks: ESPN, Netflix, and NBC and Peacock. So here's how it works out. So Netflix is going to get the Home Run Derby. So it's going to be off ESPN for the first time in like 30-something years or whatnot. They're also going to get the Field of Dreams game between the Phillies and Cleveland, I think is what I saw. Between those 2 teams. I could be wrong on the 2 teams, but I thought that's what I saw today announced. But I know Netflix has for sure got the rights to the Field of Dreams game, which you're going to see on Netflix. Stream Netflix for the first time this year. But they're also going to get the opening day game is going to be on Netflix this year as well. So you'll see that along with the Field of Dreams and the Home Run Derby will all be on Netflix for this coming season, for the next couple of seasons at least. Commissioner Rob Manfred said he is able to maximize rights for the Home Run Derby and the Wild Card Series. So that was part of the reason why they moved from ESPN to Netflix and NBC, is because they were able to maximize the amount of money they were getting for it. So ESPN is going to pay around $550 million, while NBC deal is worth $200 million, and the Netflix deal is worth $50 million. Just to give you an idea. So NBC, on the other side of things, NBC gets the wild card playoffs. So wild card round of the playoffs. And they also get Sunday Night Baseball. So Sunday Night Baseball is moving from ESPN to NBC at Peacock. And it'll be the first time in like 30, again, since 1999 or 1990, 30 years, something like that, since ESPN has not had Sunday Night Baseball. Now, the plan is for ESPN to still have some games throughout the weeknight and weekend games, late night games as well. But ESPN gets to become right holders as well for MLB TV, which is going to be available on the ESPN app, the new ESPN app as well. So let's know what you think of the new NBA deal, or not NBA, MLB deal, TV deal. I think it'll be a good thing. Hopefully, we'll see how NBC does with Sunday Night Baseball. Looking forward to that change as well. Feels like a little bit of a refresh for us. So we'll see what happens there. Let's jump over to the NBA a little bit, and this is really hard. I apologize. It's harder to see than I thought it was going to. As well, and then we'll finish off with some NHL action. Make sure you catch the Fast Break tomorrow night. As well, every Thursday night here at Variety Sports Network, get the Fast Break talking college basketball. You're looking at the NBA standings right now. You got the Eastern Conference on one side, Western Conference on the other. Detroit clearly leading the East by 3 games right now. Oklahoma City as well, 3 games in the East as well. LeBron James made his return last night in a 141-125 win over the Utah Jazz. So that's a big plus for the Los Angeles Lakers, who are sitting currently in 4th in the West as well. Again, you got Cleveland right there at 10-5, New York and Toronto, Philadelphia, Atlanta, all right there, 4 games out of first place in the East. Over in the West, you got LA, San Antonio, and Minneapolis. Minnesota, the Minnesota Timberwolves, all right there as well. Okay, so interesting shakeup. Take a look what you think of the NBA so far this season. We're 15-ish games in so far to this season. And you talk about the NBA Cup, the Emirates NBA Cup. So far, Toronto is leading their group in the East. Detroit Pistons are leading their group, Group B in the East, and the Milwaukee Bucks are leading the Group C in the East. Over Group A in the West, you look at the Minnesota Timberwolves, who are sitting 2-0 after wins over Utah and Sacramento. Group B, you got the Clippers and the Lakers both sitting 2-0 in Group B in the West with wins over Memphis, and both teams have wins over the Pelicans, the New Orleans Pelicans so far, which, by the way, Adam Silva just moved New Orleans to St. Louis. We'd love to have a basketball team, an NBA team in particular. On Group C, you got a 5-team tie right now for everybody's sitting 1-1, but currently difference in points is that the Denver Nuggets have right now is a 23-point difference, with a loss against Portland, a win against Golden State, as well. So a little more interesting in Group C in the West for the NBA Emirates Cup. So let us know if you're watching that. What you think of the NBA Cup so far in the couple of years that they've been doing it. It does bring a little excitement to the league, brings you something to talk about throughout the day, right or not. Last but not least, we got our NHL Power 16. We dropped these earlier today right here on our YouTube channel as well. Over on X is another spot you can check out some of our stuff. But here's our NHL Power 16. So you got the Colorado Avalanche, who sit at 13-1-5, 31 points. Carolina Avalanche sitting at 13-5-1 with 27 points. Colorado still with the one regulation loss on the season. Now they have 5 overtime losses thrown in there at this point, which puts them, they're a tough team. You're looking at a team that has offensive zone advantage and defensive zone advantage. They're not in their defensive zone for very long. You have Nathan McKinnon, who leads the NHL in points and goals right now. Number 3, we have the Dallas Stars at 12-5-3, 27 points as well. New Jersey Devils are right there, 13-5-1, tied technically, statistically, with the Carolina Hurricanes in the East for the number 1 spot so far. And then last and not least, now I went back and forth for a little while on who I wanted to put here, because there was a couple of teams that I was going back and forth here with, and I ended up going with the Winnipeg Jets at 5. Okay, their home record is solid. Their home record and their road record right now are like 6-3-1 or 6-4-1. One of them I think the away record 6-4-1 is where they're sitting right now. So let me know what you think of the top 5. Go check out our Power 16 over in our post or over on our X channel. Let us know what you think, where we went wrong, who should be higher, who should be lower. And last but not least, 2026 NHL Winter Classic uniforms are here. Now, this is where I made it a little short on this earlier, so you can go look at that as well. Right here on our channel. I like the New York Rangers uniforms. They're very clean, very classic, very vintage looking. I like the look of them. I like the horizontal New York across it. The whitish, kind of off-white looks good with the blue and the red striping as well. And they have this cool little New York Apple logo on the shoulder. It's cool, Big Apple. Why not? That's what they're known for. Now the Panthers, on the other hand, I did rate it as a 9. I think the vintage look of what the Winter Classic is supposed to come out with, the classic look, the vintage look. I think the Panthers did a good job at this. I do. Now they're getting a lot of crap for the Panther, but I don't think it's that bad. Now they do have a couple of new logos, one on the shoulder, as well as one on the pants featuring the state of Florida, as well, with the Panther on it, and I think an M is what I saw. So not too bad. Let us know what you think, though, of the 2026 NHL Winter Classic uniforms. So that's going to wrap it up for this VSN Weekly Rundown. Let us know what you would like us to add as well to this shorter segment of shows that we're going to try to do every week, or that we're planning on doing every week. So let us know what you'd like to see us add to this show. Whether it's highlights, anything on that order. We'd love to hear your thoughts, love to hear your comments of what we can do to make this show better. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.